Hey, you can't just call Dibbs. Stop! You can't get all willy-nilly with Dibbs. Dibbs is the only thing that holds society together.
First Dibbs question of the day this Friday is brought to you by Trantolo and Trantolo with law offices in Hartford, Waterbury, Bridgeport, New Haven, Torrington. They've been helping the communities, and they proudly serve them. You can give them a call at 844-999-9999 to get a hold of them. How nervous are the Heat after Game 1?
I don't think I think they are less nervous about losing this series than the rest of the world. I think that they got a lot of open looks last night, and if they knock down 4 of those threes, they're actually in the lead. 105-104. But, there's a lot of things that could happen. I do think Eric Spoelstra is one of the best right now in the league at breaking down film, seeing what was wrong, and making corrections.
So we got to start videographer.
So I honestly would love to be behind the scenes today, tomorrow with the Miami Heat to see what they're doing physically too, to get rest. Like,
how about we free up Jimmy Butler a little more? How about we clear the floor a little bit, let him do a little bit of magic, score 25, 30 points, and keep us in the game early and often.
I was wondering, because just watching so many Michael Jordan stories in the last couple of years about how he would have a bad game and then he would not sleep. He would go to the gym immediately after the game, and he would be there until the next game. And I was thinking, like, is that still a thing? Like, is Max Strus so mad at his performance? Is Caleb Martin so mad at their performance that they can't sleep? But then you can't do that right now. Like, they need rest. They got to rest those legs up in their elevation. Then they got to still kind of wake up this morning and get acclimated even more. I would say they'd have to do some kind of routine or running, because if they shut it completely down and then try to ramp it back up again, it might be trouble too. I would love to see how they're managing these next 48 hours with the guys physically and getting their game back.
I agree. Listen, you're in a place that is sapping your strength. And like you said, Michael Jordan or Kobe, or I'm sure that Bird and all these other guys, they're just, listen, and all the players that I played with, the Paul O'Neills, I can give you stories of guys like him and Chris Sabo and all of these guys that they would go up in their room and swing a bat for hours in front of the mirror. They, God, I can't even tell you how many times I looked out in right field and Paul's got his back to the infield practicing his swing. I mean, these guys are perfectionists. That's what makes them great. But it also probably eats away at their brains.
Exactly.
that I can't sit still. I'm not going to sit in my hotel room, so I'm going to go find a gym, and they would find gyms. But it's not as accessible as it used to be. You got to look for a 24-hour gym, or you got to find some kind of gym, or you got to get somebody from the Nuggets to maybe allow you somewhere to do it. And I'm sure they can get it done. But then again, somebody's going to go bug you. We were just talking about paparazzi, and there's always somebody now with a phone. There's always somebody. I mean, I see Aaron Judge. I was getting ready for the show when we were waiting, and poor Aaron Judge can't go to Rodeo Drive with his wife without people following the damn kid around.
Of course.
You have no life now as an athlete, so I think it makes it more difficult to stress out about something like that and try to get it out of your head.
One piece of news you brought it up yesterday, but it really got confirmed last night during the broadcast that Tyler Hero is going to try to make a comeback here with a broken hand.
In game 2.
Do
you want him making a comeback in the finals?
I was going to ask you that.
No, hell no, dude. We didn't get to the finals with you. We don't need you right now. Love your brother, but this is not the time.
I'm with you on
I see him
that.
at shoot around and he's bombing like Steph Curry, right. I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe we give him a shot, but you know what? Dance with who brung you.
And still broken hand. I mean, I think you might be hurting us more than you're helping us at this point. And just slapping that hand like at any time, at any little knock, any little vibration. You hit the elbow and your fingers start feeling that on a broken hand. I think it's a bad idea to bring him back. I think let him dress in the goofy outfits like he has been to distract the other team. I think that's the best help that Tyler Hero could bring to this NBA Finals.
Sorry, that wasn't supposed to be up. I was going to say.
What? I love Tina Turner. I think that's the best thing you've done in a while.
We don't need another hero.
That's perfect. We don't need another hero. Actually, we do if we're the Heat.
I'm not playing the whole thing.
I I'm glad you brought some Tina back.
I'm
here. All right,
glad.
T, pour one out this weekend for Tina once again.
Brings a tear to my eye.
I know.
Not really worried about Tyler Hero. I'm worried about Tina Turner. Rest in peace.
I don't know.
It's awesome.
I like it, Kurt, but I think you might be wrong. I think we do need another hero.
But we
not
don't
this
need
one?
Tyler Hero.
Right.
We need
H-E-R-O, not
How about
R-R-O.
Caleb Martin? How about you score more than
He
3
needs to step
points in
up.
game 2?
That was a bad performance. Here's another concept. These guys haven't played in the NBA Finals
Well,
before.
that's what I'm saying, man. And so you see the Denver Nuggets and you see those guys and Jamal Murray and stuff, and they sat around. How about this? You dwelled on this for nearly 2 weeks. You talk about driving you mental is sitting there going, when are we going to get to play? We just did all this damage to the Lakers. Now we got to just sit here.
I think if you rewatch the first 4 to 5 minutes, you'll notice they were cold too. Like they came out tight. And now a lot of those guys, I think most of that team hasn't been in the NBA Finals. I think Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the bubble finals with LA was the only one on that team.
And Kyle Lowry, he can help some
Right.
of these guys on the Heat that have never been there before.
But I still think the elevation factor, the playing the Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals factor, and emotion, as much as it is on physical on your legs and all your lactic acid and all that stuff. But I really do think that there's some inexperience there with probably 4 of those 3-point shooters, Strus, Vincent, Martin, Duncan Robinson, all 4 of those guys, inexperienced playing all the time in high elevation, inexperienced with those all the time high emotion games, and first time in the NBA Finals for some of them. Now, Duncan Robinson also bubble finals. He played there too. But.
And here's the thing about playing in that elevation, and it's a lightheaded feel. It's a sickening feeling. You know how we felt on the rides at Six Flags?
Thick.
And it's just you're like, it's not a normal feeling.
I just don't feel right.
Yeah,
I don't know
but you can't put a finger on it. And
feel
so
right.
as you're running up at the floor, I guarantee in the second half, you're running up and down the floor and you're going, man, I could really use like a giant hit of oxygen right here because I just don't feel like I'm getting enough. So, but again, now when Denver goes down to sea level, they feel heavier.
Right.
That's the advantage of going back to Miami for 2. This might be 2-2 after 4, and we have a 3-game series. So you never know. I mean, it affects everybody differently, and I think, I watched the Colorado Rockies for many, many years. Colorado never, ever played as well on the road as they did at home and kicked the crap out of people at that high elevation, go down to sea level, and they were just a shell of themselves.
I do like how they have the 5,280 at
It's
the
on there.
foul line so that you keep thinking about it.
You had it at Coors Field all the way around the field. They had a purple line.
I was
where it's a mile
wondering
above
what
sea
all
level.
those numbers were. I was like, why is their area
It's
code
elevation.
have 4?
Trying to psych out the other team. It's exactly what that's
Thanks for teaching me that, Kurt. Now I feel like a big-time moron. Wow, that's what that was.
All right, Anita Marks will join us next. We'll talk NBA Finals. We'll talk some golf with her, NFL. We got some new hirings going on in the NBA as well. We'll be right back with Anita Marks.